Thanks. So, a gluttonous man, a friend of tax collectors and sinner is a code word for Gentile. Not that there weren't any Jewish sinners, but that's a code word in the Gospels. So, and gluttonous man, a man who eats meat and is not a vegetarian. Code word. John and James, vegetarians. Pseudo-Clementines say Peter was a vegetarian too. Why would they be vegetarians? Extreme Nazaritism. Pushing the purity regulations beyond what the ordinary person did. In other words, would eat no food that was, based on living flesh, for fear of inadvertent sin, I'm sure. And a wine bibber. James was what? Abstained from strong drink and wine. John was a Nazarite type person, didn't drink wine. So this is a way of saying Jesus is not like James and John. Jesus is like me, Paul. Now, was Jesus like this, a gluttonous man, a wine drinker, a friend of tax collectors? In the Pauline view, yeah. What about the historical Jesus? My view? No. Your view? You decide. It always comes down to that, see? That's why I say most of the arguments here have to do with the argument between the James school and the Paul school. And each trying to claim, though this is mostly Paul and the Pauline material, which is why I'm so hard on it, I apologize. There's nothing wrong with the spiritual outlook of it. It's just, is this historical Jesus? Bultmann, the great German theologian, said, don't look for the historical Jesus. That's a can of worms. Only concern yourself with the proclamation of the early church, the kerygma, the proclamation of the early church. That's where, you get your Christianity from. And he's right. I think he's totally right. If you get into the historical Jesus, you're in almost quicksand. That's why this course is so difficult to teach. Anyway, look at this, another pro-Gentile one, 21. Look, Horizon and Bedside are towns, I think, near the Sea of Galilee. Woe to you! By the way, notice the mighty works and wonders here. Horizon and Bedside. If the mighty works which had taken place in you had happened in Tyre and Bedside, or in Sidon, they would have repented long ago. Where's Tyre and Sidon? And the next thing we know, we're going to be in Tyre, and who are we going to go into? The Canaanite woman's household. It's in Phoenicia and Canaan, and where you have non-Jewish areas. So again, laughing at the Jews and saying the Gentiles understand me much better than you. Pro-Pauline mission. Is it the historical Jesus? Okay, it's the historical Jesus. That means Jesus anticipated Paul and knew all about the Pauline mission. Finally, look at the word mighty works and wonders. The best place to look for this is the war scroll from Qumran, Dead Sea Scroll. What does the war scroll from Qumran say about mighty works and wonders? The mighty works and wonders in the war scrolls are God's victories over his enemies. What God did for Moses, in parting the Red Sea, and things of that kind. Those are the works and mighty wonders. The mighty works and wonders are not these kinds of, excuse me, don't be angry at me, I can't resist that saying to you, I'm letting it all hang out here for you guys. I'm sorry about that. Not these kind of petty little curings, touchings, spitting in people's ears, magic miracles of different kinds, walking on waters. Those are not the mighty works and wonders of God in Palestine's framework. Only in a Hellenistic Mediterranean framework, where they loved all that kind of thing, is that would be considered mighty works and wonders. So that's what Jesus is talking here. The mighty works and wonders of God are the miracles I'm doing. Making this deaf man hear, making this leprous person non-leprous, stopping this lady's blood from flowing. These are escopeas things. All this kind of thing. So again, the mighty works and wonders are not the Old Testament mighty works and wonders, not the war scrolls, not the Dead Sea Scrolls. They are the Greco-Hellenistic mighty works and wonders, if you want to call it that. But the language is taken from Palestinian vocabulary and applied to Mediterranean Hellenistic things. Okay, let's see. Here's another one in chapter 12. God, I thought I was going to get to chapter 13. Then a demon-possessed man was led to him, line 22, and he healed him. So the blind and dumb both spoke and saw. Then someone in the Pharisees, again the Pharisees complaining like an axe, we heard Peter went into a Gentile household. Complain, complain, complain. So the Pharisees are always complaining, mumbling, grumbling about Jesus doing these kinds of things. This one does not throw out demons except by Beelzebub, the prince of darkness. But Jesus knew their thoughts beforehand. And so, let's see now. Let's see. Oh, here at the end of this, chapter line 47, his mother and his brothers come. So it admits that he has a mother and brothers. And at that time, people really did know that there were mothers and brothers. They were standing outside, line 46, wanting to speak to him. Notice the standing imagery. Remember, did I tell you about the standing one? Who was the standing one? The thing in the Pseudo-Clementine recognitions that Simon Magus preached, the standing one, was really, Jesus was the standing one, the primal Adam, who took on many forms and came down through many generations and is portrayed as something like 100 miles high and 20 miles wide or something, this huge supernatural thing. And I think every time you see that, watch the word standing. That's another word to tick up into your vocabulary list. Every time, it's not always standing, but sometimes the standing is important, particularly when it's repeated like it is here a couple of times. His mother and his brothers were standing. Later on, we're going to get all the tomb resurrection materials. They were standing all the time outside the tomb. Mary Magdalene was standing, or the Messiah was standing. And someone said to him, "Lo, your mother and your brothers are standing outside wanting to speak to him." And here's the famous line. We all love this line. You know, it's very beloved by us, but also is politically and theologically charged. He answered, "Who is my mother, and who are my brothers to me?" And stretching out his hands towards his disciples, "These are my mothers and brothers." Okay? Okay. Admirable? Yes. Does it have another meaning to me in the context I'm telling you? I think yes. You say, you see other meaning in everything. Yes, because I thought there is meaning going on here beneath the surface in all these matters. For whoever shall do the will of my Father who is in heaven, he is my brother and sister. So this